Hello and welcome to the first recording of West Virginia Murder and Ghost Stories. On this page, we're going to be telling stories about murder and hauntings in West Virginia, only in West Virginia. And most of it is going to be stuff that's happened to me and friends of mine. And then, others is just stories that I find interesting. And so we're just going to jump right into it. The first story that I'm going to talk about today actually happened to me. Well, me and my brother and a couple of friends of mine. See, in 2001, I'm going to say 2001, maybe 2002, me, my brother, and a couple of friends of mine were working for a man out of Teays Valley, West Virginia. But we were working in Parkersburg, West Virginia. And we were remodeling the outside of a house and an old church. And in doing so, we ended up having to stay there in Parkersburg, which was not a big deal. Well, at the time, I was working on the church, and my brother and a couple of my friends were working on the house. And the house was a really old house, Victorian style, the big round room on the front of it, like most of the old Victorian houses. And it was absolutely gorgeous, but we ended up having to scrape all of the outside windows and repaint them. Well, as we were doing this, there was also people working on the inside of the house, doing whatever, refinishing floors and just remodeling, all in general. No one was living in the house at the time. But as time went by, my brother and a couple of friends of mine was telling me how creepy this house was and just how uneasy feeling you was when you were around it. So me, being all about ghosts, was really eager to get over there and work on this house. So at the end of the workday, we went over there to pick up the other guys, my brother and my friends, and we were all just standing outside the house talking, and we noticed that the guys inside of the house were always really eager to get out of there before it got dark. And it was getting close to dark the time of the day when we got over there to get them, and a man from up the street came down and he was talking to us while we were standing out by the truck, waiting for the guys to pick up stuff and get ready to leave. And the old man was talking to us about this house and was telling us about, how the guy who used to own it had hung himself in the garage, and that the house was supposedly haunted, and that, most people did not stay in this house very long when they did move in. Well, as we were talking to this man, he just kind of stopped and was just standing there staring at the house. And we were just like, are you all right? Is everything okay? And with a very pale face, the man looks at me and he says, "Is there anyone else in that house?" And I calmly told him, no, that everybody had gone home and the house was empty. There's no one there. And he said, "Someone was staring at us through that window. He was standing sideways and staring through the blinds in that window in the round room." And he's talking about the second floor of this round room. So of course we're all creeped out, and we all get in the truck and we go back to the hotel, and we're all talking about what this man saw, and the way they feel during the day. And then we just kind of write it off like guys do, like, it was hard to tell what he saw. Sure, it was nothing. But we couldn't have been more wrong, because from that day on, everything just went crazy. It was always something going on at this house. So I finally got my chance to work on this house, and I could not wait to get over there, to be honest with you. Like, I am all about ghost hunting, and I am ready to go to see this place and see what, experience what they've been experiencing, because I, for one, didn't believe any of it. So the first day I'm over there, everything's going fine, nothing's happening. I hadn't seen anything. Well, my brother was on the first floor roof painting the windows of the second story round room. Well, in this round room, they had blinds, the kind of blinds that you turn the little rod and they flip up and down. You get what I'm saying. But anyways, they were completely shut. They were not open to where you could see out of them. And my brother was painting the windows, and all of a sudden, he just stops. He stands completely still, as if he's just frozen, too afraid to move. And then he finally snaps out of it. He goes straight to the ladder, and down he comes. "I'm not going back up there," he says. "Why? What is going on? What are you so scared of?" He replies, "I was standing there in that window painting of the round room, and the blinds were shut, and then all of a sudden the blind pulls to the side as if somebody is standing inside, holding it over to the side, looking at it. There was no one there, but the blind stayed there for as long as I was frozen, because I was staring, trying to figure out why this blind was over. And then all of a sudden, it just lets go and starts rocking back and forth in the window." Now he says, "I am done with this house. I am done with it. I am not working here anymore. I will go to the church and work, but I will not spend another day at this house." And he didn't. He worked at the church from then on. And of course, I was there ready to go. I wanted to see something. I had yet to see anything. So the very next day we were there working, and absolutely nothing happened all that day. Come getting close to dark, all the people in the house were leaving. Everybody left. They had all packed up and gone, and we were picking up all of our stuff to leave, and we noticed one thing. The light in the round room in the second floor was left on. Well, of course, me and my buddy was not scared of anything, so we were going up there to turn that light off. And we did just that. We walked right up through there, right up the stairs, went into the round room, turned the light off, and made our way back down out of the house. See, that was nothing. But as soon as our foot hit the porch steps, the light came back on. Now, granted, that was a little weird to me, and that did freak me out a little bit, but I was not going to let that show. So me and my buddy marched right back up them steps, right back into the house, up the stairs, into the round room, and turned the light off once again. So back down the stairs we go, back through the house, and out to the front porch. As soon as our foot hit the step to leave the porch, the light came back on again. Okay, this is the third time, and I'm not about to go back up there and touch that light. Obviously, this man wants the light on, so we left it on. This is the first experience I've had in this house, but I'm not going to let it take me away. So the next day, we're back at this house, and we're doing the work. We're cleaning up, and nothing happens all day long. But closer to the evening, not quite dark yet, the guys in the house were still there. A friend of mine needed to use the bathroom, and, well, there was nowhere to use it outside, obviously. So we go into the house and we talk to the guys who's working there, and they tell us that the only working bathroom in this house is in the top floor, which would be the attic. And well, of course, as soon as my buddy heard that, he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going up there by myself." So of course we take him, poking fun all the way up, obviously. But I'm not going to lie, this was the creepiest staircase I have ever seen in my entire life. Because halfway up this narrow little staircase was a flat with a door. And yes, there would have been no way that I'd have went up there by myself either. But of course I would have never let him know that. So we're all standing in this creepy attic while my buddy's in the bathroom. We're all just standing around, making fun, laughing, having a good time. Well, he finally gets done, and we start making our way down the staircase. Well, he's lagging behind because he's just getting out of the bathroom, obviously, and we got a little bit of a head start. and we make it past the door. And as soon as we make it past this door slams shut. And it is locked tight. And he is on the other side, and we are on the downside, and he thinks that we are holding the door on him. No! But we was not. We were freaking out just as much as he is. And this man is pretty much in tears at this point. So at this point, I don't know if he is pulling one way and we're pulling the other and we're just fighting each other, or if this door is just stuck. But either way, we have no idea how it shut, and we have no idea what was going on. But then finally, after a few minutes, it was just like someone unlocked the door, and he yanked it open, and we took off, and we never went back up there ever again. So when this happened, it was about a day or two before we were actually done with this house. We had seen nothing else. Absolutely nothing had happened. But on the last day, the owner of the house stopped by and was talking to us. It was the first time we'd seen this man since we got this job. And as soon as I seen this man, my heart stopped. Because over the fireplace was a picture, a painting of the original owner of this house. And they were twins. They looked exactly alike. It was the creepiest thing I ever seen. The man offered us to stay in the house overnight if we wanted to, but me and one other guy wanted to. Nobody else did, so that never happened. Because, truth be told, neither one of us actually wanted to stay there, and the fact that the other guys backed out was great news. But after that, that was it. We went home and never went back to that house ever again. But if you ask me, that house was 100% haunted, and there is no way that anyone's ever going to live in that house. I would actually love to hear how long that man lived there, if he lived there at all. But I've drove by it a couple times, but other than that, that's it. And it looked like there was people living there at the time. And I'm not going to give addresses out because I don't want people, bothering these people. But I will tell you, this house is located in Parkersburg, West Virginia, on a street right across the road from the high school, Parkersburg High. But I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you subscribe and watch for the new stories coming out. And like I said, there will be some podcast with my wife and my son where we just talk about stuff that's happened. And hopefully we can do some live podcasts so we can interact with you all and answer questions. So please subscribe and like and share. Thank you for listening.